Sunday. Welcome back. So glad you decided to pop in again. Today we're making some nice fluffy pancakes for breakfast. Again, it's Sunday. My name is Vicki-Lynne. This is my channel. I do some vegan cooking, some meal preps, grocery hauls. If there's anything that you want me to try to veganize, please send me a message and I'll do my best to find something really good. Anyway, lately I've been following the Starch solution with Dr. John McDougall. So I am just going to be making some pancakes this morning. I'm going to be putting some strawberries on as my sauce instead of using maple syrup. We use both, but and this is a super easy recipe. So the first thing we want to start with is our milk, and we're going to use a cup of milk. Make a double batch today so I can freeze them. So these are really good to freeze. So I'm actually going to do 2 cups of milk, and to that we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and again just half the recipe, and I will put it below. And while I'm doing this, and what we're going to do is this is going to get our milk to kind of curdle a little bit, kind of be like buttermilk, so we can make these nice and fluffy. And what's going to make them fluffy is that to the dry ingredients we're going to be adding baking powder, and between the baking powder and the acid it's going to make them fluffy and light as a pancake. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes, and now what we're going to do is I'm going to measure out my flour, and spoon. This is going to be very difficult. I don't like this container that I chose. I was looking for a way bigger container for flour. Anyway, so we're going to need 2 cups of flour. Pretty simple recipe. So it's going to be 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of milk, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and it's actually better, you get more accurate reading on your flour and your dry ingredients if you actually spoon it in and then just top it off at the end, as opposed to putting your scoop into the flour mixture, and that's actually almost perfect. Okay, so we have that in, and then because I decided at the very last minute I was going to make a double batch, I'm going to need another. So what I have in here is just 2 tablespoons of vegan sugar and 1 tablespoon of the baking powder. But because I decided at the last minute that I'm going to double my recipe, let me just add some more back in. Okay, and then 1 more tablespoon of the baking powder. There we go. Okay, and we're going to give this a stir. Okay. Now to my wet ingredients, and also a teaspoon of salt. Don't be afraid of salt. A little teaspoon just enhances the flavor. And to the wet ingredients, which is my milk that is sitting here curdling nicely, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And normally the lids of the, well, on this one anyway, most of the vanilla lids seem to be a 1 teaspoon measure. Again, fun fact. And I'm actually going to add some cinnamon. I love cinnamon, and it's really good for regulating blood sugar, and it just adds a great flavor. And I find with the cinnamon, you don't need a lot of sugar, and I can just kind of maintain. All right, so we have our dry ingredients, our wet ingredients, and our milk has curdled very nicely. You see it's thickened up, and so what we're looking for is to get the pancakes like light and fluffy. So we're just gonna dump that. And again, this is super simple. Just hanging out on a Sunday, making pancakes. So Sundays are usually my meal prep day, so I will be doing some meal preps today. And I just like to have a lot of things ready. I don't necessarily have full meals ready, so I just like to have components ready so we can mix them up and do something one way one night, add something different, and then put it in a wrap. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to move this closer. Just give me 1 second. And you can see how it's just fluffing up. And that's what we're looking for, nice and fluffy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to preset our griddle. We're going to preset our griddle, and I'm going to get the strawberries on the stove. And for the strawberries, I just take frozen strawberries, throw them in a pot, add a little bit of water to it, and just let them stew a little bit. And we'll slice a little banana on this, and we'll be all set for breakfast.